Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. I'm Matt. I've got a perspective on things.
And I'm Ray, and I'm pissed off for greatness. So here's the deal. I'm a little triggered right now. I'm a little mad. I'm a little. Here's the thing, man. Matt, I hate to go right into it. I hate to go right into it, but it's a fresh wound, man. It's fresh in my mind. It's fresh in my wound, in my wounds, not my womb, even though I look like a pregnant woman. But it is fresh in the system right now, and I have to get it out, man. Can a brother get after it a little bit?
Sure
Can a
can.
brother get into Plausible Foolishness, the fastest rising political show on twitch.tv/plausible foolishness? That's twitch.tv/plausible foolishness, my man.
Yeah. Yeah, you jump on it. Let's go.
Let's go. Here's the deal, man. 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here in the great state of Florida. We got a proclamation from our governor. Here was the proclamation. Let me surmise it in 3 seconds or less. And pardon my French. This is a Christian show, for sure. We are both followers of Christ. And you will have to forgive me because God has justified me. He has saved my soul, but He has not sanctified my mouth yet. So if words come out, parental warning isn't advised. And I'm not going to curse like a sailor. I have a little bit of control, but a little bit of heat is going to come out of these lips. Do I have permission to come aboard, Captain Matt?
Permission granted.
Okay, great. So here's the deal. So he spent 20 minutes literally pandering to the softies of the world saying, "We know, we care. We know, we care." Then he followed it up with, we know that you care, but you also have to realize that facts aren't feelings." And I was getting excited. I was like, yes, my man is just being nice to him up front, giving him a chance to still hold on a little bit to that fear porn that is coronavirus, that is COVID-19, that is Wuhan flu, that is flu and pneumonia. Oops, so I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say that. Even though the CDC is labeling flu and pneumonia as COVID-19, he is warming the cuckles of the people that are scared of this thing. And then he proceeds by saying, "Hey, listen, I get it, but you don't have to be afraid because here's the stats." And he spends 15 minutes breaking down statistically why this is hysteria now. Notice, little ones, I didn't say hoax. I said hysteria. Because at the very beginning, like me and the mad scientist Matt have been talking about on this program for a month and a half now, the numbers are not correct. One, when they were reporting the accurate numbers, it was accurately showing that this thing is irrelevant. But then the numbers exploded in March. It was weird. And we found out why on Plausible Foolishness because we did a little research. We went and checked out the CDC reporting for COVID-19. And wouldn't you know it, that the CDC was suggesting to all medical professionals across the country to label anything COVID.
We also
Confirmed
saw.
reporting. Go ahead.
Oh, we also saw that magically
Yeah.
the flu and pneumonia completely disappeared. Thank
Magically.
you, thank you, COVID-19, for curing the flu and pneumonia for all time.
Yes. According to the CDC, COVID-19 cured pneumonia and flu. It was unbelievable.
There's the silver lining.
There's the silver lining. Pneumonia and flu deaths completely disappear in the month of March.
Hmm.
Now, knowing this, and they dumped this report at a late on a Friday night, hoping to God nobody like us would find it. And shocker, we did. We found the report and we read it and we asked some very basic questions, just like the mad scientist Matt proposed. Really, at the height of flu season, flu and pneumonia magically disappeared. That is an incredible stat. How'd you guys do it? And they realized that we smelled the bull crap. The bull crap. I don't think the audience can see this. It's a bull's head, and that's the crap. Okay? The bull crap. All right? Then they had to come out and actually admit it, which they did. Verified by many news outlets and verified on this page, good old Plausible Foolishness, and my TikTok, good old strong one, with 33,000 followers. Thank you so much. 33,000, crazy. Okay? Showing a video of the Illinois Surgeon General literally admitting that, well, COVID might not be the source of the death, but we still label it a COVID death because the person had COVID. As if that made it any better.
Mm.
Now, a very simple question's posed, a very basic question's posed. Now, what is your motivation for inflating the stats of this disease by renaming flu and pneumonia deaths that normally would happen? 97,000 together combined flu and pneumonia deaths last year. The year before that, there was 120,000 deaths due to flu and pneumonia, 80,000 from the flu, 40,000 from pneumonia. Every year we have the same amount of deaths. So why now is the medical community taking the CDC recommendation and labeling every death COVID? What would be their motivator?
I don't know. I mean, one would think.
Why would they do that?
Politics.
Oh, politics. Okay, that's part of it.
One would think just bad at their jobs.
Yeah, ineptness. Yeah, that's getting further proved more and more. But yeah, keep going. Now listen, there's something even more powerful. Even more powerful than sex itself. Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say sex.
Well, listen. Sex is powerful. It is a powerful motivator. But guess what? There's not attractive women at the CDC that we're going to give enough love to get these guys to sway their decisions.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Something
solid point.
More powerful and solid is motivating these hospitals to label everything COVID. It's that mighty dollar bill. Money, 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 money.
Yeah. That's a thing people want.
What?
That's a thing people want.
That's a thing a lot of people want, okay? Especially now. So the funny thing is they get $13K for every COVID death, and they get $39,000 for every ventilator that they hold in their hospital. Money, 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 money. So magically, flu and pneumonia deaths that would normally be labeled flu and pneumonia deaths are now COVID deaths.
Wow. And you you know this for true and sure and right.
Every major media today confirmed it, highlighting by USA Today. No, I didn't say InfoWars, kiddos, even though they're right a lot. USA Today. Have you ever heard of that publication before? Ever? USA Today?
Sounds familiar. I mean,
yeah, national newspaper, been around for a very long time. One might say a credible source to the liberal logic world, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Literally admitting, asking the question, are hospitals intentionally labeling things COVID-19 for a monetary benefit? Their assessment, confirmed.
Bobby the Bull says, like most government programs, if it exists, it can be milked. Can you milk me?
Can you milk me, effer? So here's the deal. USA Today, darling of the liberal logic world, confirming this. Other media sources confirming it. And here's the bullcrap. And if you still believe in Snopes, here's a perfect example of them literally denying truth in front of you. You know what Snopes labeled it?
Partially true.
Mixture,
yeah.
AKA, it's true that they're
relabeling
COVID-19, but their intention is not greedy, so it's a mixture.
Are you telling me that the end-all, be-all of all things true or false, Snopes, denies human greed as a factor in money-making ventures and lies being told?
Of course. Snopes, reliable Snopes. Never getting anything wrong, Snopes. I'm being facetious. Rube Nation, Rube Empire. They're completely full of crap, but even they can't admit truth right when it's in front of their face.
Yeah.
It's a mixture. We acknowledge that that's true. However, we don't think the intention is there.
So the American healthcare system is broken.
Yes.
It's filled with greedy corporations.
Yes.
That only care about money and don't care about patients.
Yes.
But in this particular instance,
yes.
where we need to promote fear, they're 100% genuine.
Oh, they're altruistic and they just
they're shooting it straight right down the middle. These are COVID deaths. Okay. Um, I listen. I know we're getting 13,000 each time we say that,
But
but
I mean, we're
but I
doing it
mean,
for the
come
people.
on.
Yeah,
Have you
give
seen my
me
coat? It's white. Okay. I
exactly,
am a priest of our god science,
exactly.
and I would never lie.
The priest of our God science would never lie to us, ever, ever. So it's confirmed in mainstream media to the point where they can't really keep the cat under the bag. And what is astounding to me in this entire scenario, now that we know that Corona is not a big deal, now that we know they fudged the numbers to inflate the numbers, now that we know regionally the places it's actually affecting, even though those numbers are very suspect,
Mm-hmm.
shocker, corrupt New York, shocker, corrupt Connecticut, shocker, corrupt New Jersey. Um, and the rest of the country is looking at them like, okay, we've shut everything down for you guys. That okay, cool. You would think after 6 weeks of just solid lockdown data, we would have a grasp on this. And the great state of Florida wouldn't cave to the fear porn, wouldn't cave to the Corona bros that are trying to keep this hysteria alive. And we would say, listen, common sense, we're going to open up now. Okay, we're done playing games. Less than 1,000, I think it's 1,200 people have died in Florida over the last 4 months. I hate to break it to you, but that's a drop in the bucket. Because every day nationally, let me give you some basic numbers for everybody that's following on TikTok that should be on twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. That's twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. Your average deaths in America due to flu, accurate numbers, are 137 a day. Your accurate deaths by pneumonia is 134 deaths per day. Combine those bad boys,
Mm-hmm.
and you're looking at over 200 and what is it, 270 or yeah,
268. Two.
yeah, two something. Okay, 260 plus deaths a day. So let's get real. Just those diseases alone in the United States would catch the deaths that happened in Florida over the last 4 months in 6 days.
Hmm.
Now, here's the other comparable stat that's going to blow your mind: 1,200 deaths by corona in the state of Florida. Where do you think most of those deaths are happening?
South Florida.
Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So our boy still has those places locked down, but let's do the math here. Even with 1,200 deaths supposedly by COVID-19,
Mm-hmm.
really it's flu and pneumonia, just relabeled, repackaged. We have 21.5 million people in the state of Florida.
Mm.
Let me say that slowly for the people that don't do math. That's 21.5 million people that live in the great state of Florida.
So 6 zeros after that?
Yes. So we have shut down our economy. We've shut down tourism. We've tried to keep people off the beaches. We've tried to keep people from congregating in church. We've kept people from the gym, which I'm raging about right now. We've kept people from all these situations because a percentage of a percentage of a percentage of a percentage of people have passed away, allegedly, by Tom Hanks disease.
Yay. Sorry about your businesses.
You know, I really hope that we get let out by July 4th so we can celebrate our freedom. You know, I'm really looking forward to that moment where we can celebrate being American. Now, with that being said, Uncle Ron DeSantis, who I voted for, gets up there, says the stats, breaks them down, exposes the media, Florida media, which was hilarious, by the way. He took clippings from the Tampa Bay Times, Spectrum, Orlando Sentinel. He blows up everybody and basically shows you all overreacted. You all said that 426,000 people would die. That didn't happen. You told us that like almost half of our population would be corona victims. It never happened. So he goes from, hey, we're here for you, but don't be afraid. Here's the stats. Now let me expose how ridiculous the media is in light of the statistics. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, pander to the softies, Great, you're getting to the stats. Now you're about to say, let's open it back up. And what do you think happened? Typical effing Republican.
Yep.
Typical effing Republican. Now, that may shock a few of you on the show. I am a registered Democrat. Now, I do not claim the Democratic Party. I don't claim the party of slavery or the party of, genocide, killing babies. That is not me, okay? But I've never claimed to be a Republican for this very instance. You can't sit there and basically expose the fact that this is a massive nothing burger and then turn around and comport with the hysteria and continue the madness. Here's the concessions Big Ron gave up. Oh, well, we can go to restaurants now and we'll open up the outdoor patios, but only 25% capacity. Oh, yeah, and by the way, the people that are getting hurt from this, gym owners, you got to stay closed. Hairdressers and designers, you got to stay away. And here's the problem that Uncle Ron's not thinking about. Okay, even if you allow restaurants to come back, you're still not allowing the full force of restaurants to come back.
Yeah, it's only 25%,
Yeah.
capacity.
Yeah, so you're hurting servers, you're hurting cooks, you're hurting the business, you're hurting the business owners. Gyms can't open up, so you're hurting that industry. Designers, hairdressers, blah, blah, blah. You're still hurting that industry. People that run businesses do that because they're usually independent contractors or owners of businesses. So you've decided that they're not, whatever. But what's funny is I bet you the government's still running pretty well up there in Tallahassee. Bet you people are still getting paid up there. We've decided to allow grocery stores to stay open. But, we're going to let other things, stay closed because we got to flatten the curve, even though 3 seconds before you said the curve was flat when it started in Florida. You showed the charts. And here's the reality of the situation. And when pressed on this very issue by the reporters, Uncle Ronnie said, well, I want to wait and see what other states do before I make actions. Question number one, who gives a rat's ass what other states do? Who cares? I don't give a rat's ass what California does. You know why? I don't reside in the horrible state of California. I do not reside in the crap hole that is Illinois. I do not reside in the crap hole that is New York, okay? I live in Florida for a reason. Typically, we are a very free state. Typically, we allow our freedoms not to be encroached on, which is laughable because literally 20 minutes before in your "we're all in this together" speech, you said you're not going to encroach on people's freedoms. And what the frick are you doing? You have stopped the means of production, people's free ability to make money, to earn wages, because you're such a pussy, you will not open up until other states do it. Newsflash, Uncle Ronnie, Georgia opened up this week, Texas opened up this week, Oklahoma opened up this week, and no offense, they're a lot more similar to us than New York City, California, or Illinois. Ronnie, you're a fraud and you piss me off. I just want my gyms back and I just want my churches back. And I get it. In your statement, you said, oh, I didn't shut down the churches. Yes, you did. You gave into the hysteria. You gave licensing to Buddy Dyer and Slappy Dicky, whatever his name is, that runs Orange County, to shut down our churches. And here's the reality of the situation. You can claim not to shut it down, but you did. You were the governor of you're the governor of the great state of Florida. You have that decision. And here's the problem. Unfortunately, we have a lot of weak leadership in the body of Christ. So these guys will play it as safe as humanly possible before we can come back together, because they don't want to get in trouble. Because we know as followers of Christ, we really want to conform to the ways of the world. Oh, wait, is that not how the verse goes?
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
no,
sorry.
It's completely different.
Sorry. We're supposed to be a peculiar people, but that's another story for another time. You would actually have to open up your Bible for that, if that makes sense, Uncle Ron. But
now,
go ahead.
Let me interject, because we got a couple of questions.
Okay,
First one is...
I can't help it.
What is the motive for liberals to do this, then? To close down the cities and lock down. What is their motive to do this?
Do you want me to answer, or do you have the rhetorical?
No, go ahead. You're
Pardon my French, and I apologize again Father, forgive the words that come out of my mouth, but it's a shit test. It literally is a shit test. It is a test to see if we make up enough hysteria about the sniffles, will you bend the knee and let government completely control your life? Will you let us enact the socialism that you have had a wet dream for years and years and years? And we have fallen on bended knee and given up the goods to the federal government. That's what we've done.
Okay.
Sorry.
And the same questioner asks, um, so you guys just don't care about the people who could die?
Was that deep state?
No.
No,
This is a newcomer to the channel.
well,
Welcome, by the way, Ginny
yeah,
Artemis.
welcome. Thank you. We appreciate it. Here's my response to that. It's very simple. Every time that the unemployment hits 10%, 40,000 people die. So, over the course of this COVID-19 crisis, that you've literally taken flu pneumonia deaths that normally happen anyways and relabeled them as COVID-19, in the same amount of time, you will kill equal amounts of people by keeping them unemployed. And here's the reality of the situation. If you cared that much, you would have been aware of the fact that 97,000 people died last year from pneumonia and flu. And the year before that, in 2018, 120,000 people died from flu and pneumonia. And guess where you were when that was happening? Remember in 2018, what were you talking about? Russia, 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 Russia. Remember this year? What were you talking about when all these deaths went down? You were saying Ukraine, 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 impeach, impeach, impeach. So spare me the argument, oh, you want people to die. I can ask the very same question. Do you want people to die because they don't have the means to the ends to provide for themselves and their family? Congratulations. You're a hypocrite. Sorry, I'm done. I'm done ranting. Sorry, Matt. I'm getting a little too crazy today, man. Getting a little too crazy. You feel me? You feel me? Am I crazy? Am I taking crazy pills right now?
No, you're not.
I mean, geez, for real, You know what I mean? I don't know, man. But my point is this, man. Like at the end of the day, Big Ron, this is what drives me nuts about Republicans and politicians in general. Okay, Ron literally ran on the platform that I am going to be similar to Donald Trump. Remember those? Those ads?
Yeah.
Build the wall. You fired. Remember, he had his little kid saying all that stuff, right? Literally hand in hand. And then he butters up this bullcrap news by flying to DC yesterday and meeting with the Trumpster so that all the Republicans would say, well, Ronnie's on our side. It's going to be good. And then he comes back and feeds us this bullcrap sandwich. He basically acknowledges how ridiculous this situation is. But guess what? It magically turns around. So you're a typical politician and you're a fraud. But here's the thing, I can't complain because the other guy that would be in his position probably would be at a gay orgy with a, gay prostitute, smoking meth and being found naked at an orgy. But, Andrew Gillum, brave and beautiful for your choices. Yeah. Just kidding, not at all. But that would have been our other guy.
And meth, good news, meth is no longer illegal.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently, the flu. Well, here's the beautiful thing about this whole last couple of months. I've learned that flu and pneumonia magically have disappeared. So we've eradicated those things. And taking meth and being caught, high on meth, in a hotel room is completely legal.
Yeah, totally legal. You're good.
Totally legal. But hey, man, that is literally the patent world that we live in. But here's the difference between this and all the same stuff was happening 40, 50 years ago. Okay, same stuff was happening. Just the massive difference is this: couple things. We're a lot of years removed from a nation involved in a war, so we've got a lot of pussies in our country. No offense, you know what I mean? Hats off to you, getting your first gun. I'm very excited about that. Sorry, I shouldn't have put that.
Well, it's not my first gun. It's my first handgun.
First handgun. Sorry, first. You know what I mean? Getting it going. I'm proud of you. But the problem is we're so far removed from the World War II generation that would have never let this fly. Okay, well, take that back. If they would have tried hard enough for a lie, they would have believed it. Okay, but the difference now is I think that we have the internet age and we can expose the stuff over and over and over again, which leads us to the first story, the first real story of the day. Sorry, I've been ranting. Make sure you follow us on twitch.tv/plausible foolishness everywhere. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and all that good stuff like that. You can just come join the madness, join the Rube Nation. But I guess there's been a lot of censorship online from facts and reality, man.
Hmm.
You want to tell us a little bit about some
Yeah.
doctors, man?
Yeah, I'll read the article. So we got a group of doctors out of California. Um, they made a video.
Yep.
It's Dana Erickson and Arten Masihi of Accelerated Urgent Care told reporters last week in a taped press conference that nationwide lockdown policies are not an appropriate reaction to what current data indicates about the China-originated novel coronavirus,
Oh, weird.
but are instead causing measurable public health issues like spikes in domestic violence, sexual abuse, depression, and spreading fear to non-COVID-19 related would-be patients that are skipping out on vital health care.
Oh, weird. Interesting.
Erickson compared COVID-19 to the season flu by using extrapolated data from both non-randomized testing done at Accelerated Urgent Care and antibody testing across the nation, which are randomized. Note, extrapolation of non-randomized data would likely skew the fatality rate down, since the people getting tested typically believe they might have the virus, thus
Okay.
making them more likely to test positive for the virus than the general public.
Interesting.
So there's this video of them talking, and YouTube decided that it was very important that they remove that video, citing a
Really?
violation of the platform's community guidelines. Let's see. YouTube told the Daily Wire on Tuesday that the first part of the presser was removed from the platform for containing content that explicitly disputes the efficacy of local health authority recommended guidance on social distancing that may lead others to act against that guidance. And
Interesting.
if the content was included with additional context, the platform added, the video would be allowed. What context is required?
Hmm.
We quickly
Well,
remove flagged content that violate our community guidelines, including content that explicitly disputes the efficacy of local healthy authority recommended guidance on social distancing that may lead others to act against that guidance. Again, repeating the same thing. YouTube spokesperson Ivy Choi told the Daily Wire in an emailed statement Tuesday, however, content that provides sufficient educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic EDSA context is allowed. For example, news coverage of this interview with additional context. From the very beginning of the pandemic, we've had clear policies against COVID-19 misinformation and are committed to continue providing timely and helpful information at this critical time. What a load of crap.
bullcrap?
Yes.
Bullcrap? Bullcrap?
Yes, totally. It's, I mean,
Yeah.
community, if you're going up against what authorities have told you, then that's against our community guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't, I don't even know what to.
Yeah, that's called tyranny. Now, here's the deal. I think that here's what I would say. I would say one, it's YouTube, so they've proven themselves over and over again to not be a open platform. They are a publisher at this point. You are a publisher if you're dictating the terms of what's going to be presented on your open form. Okay, just reality of the situation. Um, Here's the second part of what I would have to say about that. The other reality to think about is I'm hypocritical because I'm using TikTok and to get a lot of followers. Okay, so that's run by Chinese state, propaganda, blah blah blah,
Sure.
Pooh Bear, all that fun stuff. Okay,
And it's their platforms; they can do whatever they
exactly,
want, but
exactly.
they pretend that they're unbiased and
Yeah,
an open platform for people to.
yeah, and let me help out our newest guy that came on here. Okay, Jenny, I'm going to help you out with this, my friend. Okay, it's called YouTube. It's called YouTube. The very existence of YouTube was an open platform. That's what it was called.
Yes, they do call
It was
themselves an open forum.
designed so that creators can come on and have an open forum to put their videos.
Yep. That's
That's what
why they're not a
it was.
publisher. That's why they don't fall under the guidelines and restrictions by law that publishers have, because they
Exactly.
claim to not edit content
Exactly.
or restrict content. But
So
they
here's the
do.
thing. If you're going to claim to be an open forum, but now you're not, that's fine. But here's the reality. If you're an editor now, you are liable for what is on your platform. Okay. Hence why they're trying to restrict blah, 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 blah. So that means that you're entitled to be sued if anything on there is false, true or false. If you are a publisher, you are subjected to the idea that people can sue you. Yes or true or false. But you
True.
can't feign or act like in a tax bracket you're an open forum, which they still claim to do, by the way. They still think that they're AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, which they are not, because they are controlling content. AT&T does not control my phone or what I get to say.
Mm-hmm.
They're an open forum. They are treated as an open forum. They are treated that way. The opposite of YouTube. Does this make sense? Probably not, because guess what? Orange Man bad no matter what. But reality of the situation is this. If you are now a publisher, you are liable to slander. You're liable to a lot of different things. And you can no longer hide under the umbrella that you're an open forum. You're not. So when two guys that come on YouTube, two doctors, real doctors, and call bullcrap, because they're on the front lines of this, not Dr. Fauci, actually on the front lines, battling this day in and day out, and calling bullcrap, which is amazing because it's coming from California, which is crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That gets blocked from YouTube? Did they cuss anybody out? Did they threaten anyone's lives? Did they what? I mean, what did they do other than call out bullcrap?
Mm-hmm.
But that is wrong think, so therefore it is blocked and banned on YouTube. That is why we are on twitch.tv/plausible foolishness, because up until now, we're allowed to actually say the things that we want to say on this platform. Because if not, you would see a blank screen and go, when me and Mr. Matt speak, me and the mad scientist. This is why we're here. Does this make sense? So, long story short is this. At the end of the day, if you are still going to claim an open platform, which you are, you can claim that, well, originally they were, but they changed and switched. Cool. Then change your tax, change the way that you are viewed by the federal government to say that you're a publisher, and just own it. That's fine. You can be Netflix. I'm cool with that, brother. I'm cool with that. If you want to do that, that's all you. But if you're still feigning the idea that you're an open platform by claiming that you are YouTube, by claiming that people should come on there, by taking that essential advertising dollars away from content creators that are creating on your platform, then guess what? You got to label yourself a publisher and can't hide from the open forum anymore. You can't do that. I'm sorry. But that's why we're on twitch.tv/plausible foolishness, and we're not big hypocrites. But it is what it is. Did Dusty just jump on? Dusty?
Oh, he's been on since the beginning.
What's
I just
up,
want to shout out Cajun Mafia Hitman. Thanks for the bits, bro.
Hey, thanks, Bits, man. Thanks, Cajun. We appreciate you, man. You know what I mean? It's all good, brother. It's all good. But head over to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness if you're on TikTok right now. At the end of the day, I love you guys so much, and it's a lot of fun. But guess what? The full show is going to be on twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. Head over that way. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But, it is what it is, man. Absent trait found in both rooms. 100%. It's the thing is, this is like, call it what it is. Are you a newspaper or are you AT&T? Which one are you? Which one are you? You can't play in the void of in between, blah, 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 bullcrap. You can't do that. You can't play both sides. You are either AT&T or you are New York Times. Which one are you?
Hey, Jenny.
You act like New York Times, but you're trying to get the shelter of AT&T. That makes absolutely no sense. No sense. But
the courts settled this argument.
When?
Well, she's got an article that she posted.
Okay.
And so the court said that YouTube is not a public forum with guaranteed free speech. And yet YouTube was arguing that they were, which basically makes our point. So
Duh! Because listen, Jenny, I agree with you. They're not an open forum. They're not. but you can't be Facebook and YouTube and argue that you are. You can't do both.
We
You
actually
cannot have
believe that
both.
they have the right to censor whatever they want on their forum, but they're also then subject to the laws of the land, where
Yes,
if they
they are.
if they allow something to be posted, then they're liable for it being there.
And they're liable to be sued, but they don't want that heat because it would cripple them. It would cripple them. You can't sit there and say, "Hey, by the way, we're an open forum, so that way you can't sue us for what people put on there, but we're still going to allow things to happen." It makes absolutely no sense, but it is what it is. Hey, man, welcome to the hypocrisy, but it's all good. That's why we're on twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. But hey, listen, if you're a medical doctor and you say anything opposite to the orthodoxy of the day, guess what? You're going to get silenced. But the beautiful thing is there are other outlets, which are a lot of fun. And it's pretty interesting, man. Which, speaking of which, by the way, do you see that Facebook's trying to woo Alex Jones back onto their platform?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw
How
the
funny
pictures.
is that? How funny is that?
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to shut you down for 2 years, but we realize that you got more followers and more people coming your way after we unfollowed you. We deleted you from existence. Now we want you back. Did you see their mockumentary video that they made for it?
Who?
Jones and all those guys just mocking Facebook for that.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, it was glorious. It was glorious. They ripped completely into him, which Jones is going to take the bait and he's still going to jump back on there because it's going to give him more eyeballs. I totally get that, but it's just funny that it's like, yeah, we want to silence you, but we need the ramp up because Facebook's dying a slow death. So we need we need you back, man. We need you now. So it is what it is, man. It's just a funny world that we live in, but it's all good, man. It's all good. YouTube is not, YouTube claims an open platform, but they're not. It's all good. They can get sued or be held liable. Whatever. It is what it is. Anyway, anywho, yeah. So basically, we talked about COVID.
You know what? To be fair, though, in Ginny's favor, on that particular article is responding to the PragerU case.
Sure.
So, which PragerU was arguing that they were an open forum in that particular case.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's that ruling is bad for PragerU on YouTube, but it's actually accurate. They aren't a public forum, and so they should be liable. I think it's a double-edged sword for YouTube. Like, yeah, they in that particular appeals court they won. They won against PragerU's, which is bullcrap.
It is.
It's what they do to PragerU is total nonsense, and but they do have the right to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a double-edged sword in that they cut both ways. Now they're okay, so you're not a public forum, and but this is still the appeals court. It can be appealed, and then once it's overturned, it's not, there's no precedence.
See, all they need is that one big company to get pissed at them and sue the living piss out of them, and then magically, you know what I'm saying? They've used the open forum thing to hide and shield from this for a long time. Prager's just not big enough to get under their skin. Eventually, they're going to piss somebody off. You know what I mean? Eventually, it's going to happen. Because at the end of the day, if the court is ruling that you're entitled to publish whatever's on there, then you are liable to suit. So it's just that's what's crazy about it. But
yeah,
we've already wasted too much time on YouTube because we don't use it anyways.
Sort of.
We
don't use it for live streams.
Not at all, man. No way. There's
no point.
I'd rather take my chances with the People's Republic of China than these guys. But it is what it is. But anyways, what I would say is this: so you've got good old YouTube, censoring information that's out there, which is very intriguing to me, and for numerous reasons. You got Desantis literally kowtowing to waiting for other states to make decisions because he doesn't have the balls to make his own decisions. So I guess my next question in this whole scenario, okay, This whole situation. You feel me? It's about to be a situation. You ready for this? You got your pants on, bro?
Never took them
You got
off.
them on. Is this? I mean, here's the question of the day for me, and this whole COVID-19 reality show. What is stopping the government from doing this again?
Yeah,
What
exactly.
is literally what is literally the thing that is stopping the government from doing this again?
Nothing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what
As
what right
we know, the
actually have?
Constitution doesn't hold anybody back from doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
Uh,
Listen, at the end of the day, what is constitutionally stopping? Well, the Constitution should stop this. The Constitution should
yeah,
stop
absolutely.
this from happening.
We have Fourth Amendment. We have the right to peaceably assemble.
Okay. So I guess my question is this: at what point, like, and I know they have a kind of a temperature gauge of the country, but at what point are you going to piss people off to the point where, um, didn't this country get founded because there were some tyrannical rules that were put on its people?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. What? When is the boiling point going to be reached for this situation?
I
Because
honestly don't
I'll
know.
be honest, it's getting
It's
there for
too.
me.
There's
I'm not gonna
well,
lie.
yeah. I mean, I, there's a big part of me that's like, we should do a protest, just barbecue at
Yeah,
some park in
yeah,
like at Lake Eola Park or something like that.
yeah. So don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like literally, we have shut down everything for the same amount of deaths that flu and pneumonia normally have, because we've relabeled flu and pneumonia COVID-19, right? Like this is how this is what America does. Okay, we take bullcrap, we relabel it as something it isn't, and it makes things worse. I mean, that's how the financial crash of 2012 or was it 2008 happened, right? You take all these subprime bullcrap loans, flip them, and say they're AAA rated, and they're not, and that completely destroys our economy for a little bit. You know what I mean? Completely crashes the housing market. We take flu and pneumonia that normally happens, and we respin it as this new mystical, magical disease that's going to overwhelm our country, kill everybody, and it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So at what point, because again, like I said before, this is a shit test. At what point do we stand up and say, "Yeah, enough's enough. This is horse crap"? Because I really have a feeling out there that Americans are like, "Yeah, I'm kind of over this bullcrap. I'm ready to go, man."
For sure.
And
I definitely feel that, but I also feel at the same time. Well, here's what a friend of mine at work asked me what I thought it was going to be like when things do reopen.
sure,
And, I think things are going to reopen. So, okay. I think there's going to be uh, three camps of
okay,
people. There'll be people like us
sure,
who were ready since day one for things to be open
yes,
because we didn't see the need for this.
yes.
There's going to be people who are still afraid and are
Oh,
going to
they're
get
out there.
very angry at the people like us who aren't concerned. And they're going to call us effing idiots and
Hey,
tell
there,
us to
oh,
stay the F at home, and they're going to throw out the F word because they're big boys and they're big boy pants. And
from their mom's basement. Yes, but
yeah,
yeah, keep.
and you know, people are going to get it's just going to be yeah.
Stay the heck at home, man.
Yeah. There's going to be, I hope not violence, but there's going to be some altercations.
Yes,
And then there's going to be a third group that just, doesn't know either way
yes,
and doesn't really have the time to research, but
yes,
knows that their job is open and they just need to go back to work,
yes.
you know. And it's going to be messy because
Yeah,
of the fear. Because fear drives people to irrational things.
it does. Oh, it does. And listen, I get
I
it. I'm a
mean,
naturally. Go ahead.
you know, no offense to Ginny, but she's afraid.
Yes.
or he's afraid. I don't know the gender. I don't care. Um,
Yeah.
but like,
Sorry,
like,
my pronouns are savage. So keep going.
yeah, the the I mean, this person said so much as the Fed can print unlimited money. Like that's there's nothing rational about that. And then I
Yeah, but
said, and
it's
destroy the value of the dollar. And then they responded, quantitative easing hasn't destroyed the value of Japan's dollar. What?
wait a minute. What?
Japan's economy is not good.
No,
Is not good at all.
it's like 10,000 yen to a dollar.
Yeah, they make great.
10,000 yen to a
They,
dollar.
they make
Congratulations.
they make great products there. Sure, or design them at least.
Sure.
The products are still made in China, but their economy is not solid, and it hasn't
No.
been for decades.
No.
I mean, but this is this is the irrationality
Well, we have this
that
idea.
comes with fear.
We have this idea, like when you don't think the entire. What's up?
Liberty Scum said, "If Buffalo Wild Wings goes under, I'm taking lives." Buffalo
That is-
Wild Wings is really delicious, actually.
listen, Liberty Scum. I appreciate your intensity. Appreciate your intensity, man. But no, I mean, I'm getting the same way with the gym, Liberty Scum. I'm not gonna lie. Good luck getting millennials off their weekly unemployment checks.
Yeah,
They're more on.
they're more on unemployment than in their old jobs. Universal basic income is here. You do not give me enough credit for this brilliance. You're right, Deep State.
Deep State, that was
You're
a
right.
smart. You snuckily
The
got
the Yang Gang got us again.
gangers. Yeah, I mean the problem is there's only so many video games. The other problem is there's only so much isolation you can live in. And I get it. Like the zeitgeist reality of the situation is globalists want us locked in a box in our homes. Just like FEMA camps. They just want us locked in these little dwellings and not moving, so they know and can control everything we're doing and watch us 24/7, like they're doing right now on the camera. Thank you, Patriot Act, right? And
Liberty Scum's 100% right. They don't understand that inflation affects the buying power.
1,000.
Like, they really don't. They don't see, like, they don't see that creep, really,
Yeah.
that suddenly things are more expensive because probably they don't really have a foothold in the marketplace yet, these, especially the millennials,
No,
they,
no.
I mean, I'm at the starting edge of millennial. You and I
Yeah.
probably both are, but the rest of them are just now really,
Yeah.
producing,
making money.
if they're even doing that.
Yeah, actually making money, actually understanding, actually purchasing. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like, listen, I feel horrible for saying this, but I'll admit it because I'm a scumbag and I'm into skullduggery. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I'm loving the fact that there are positives to the COVID-19. It's not all gloom and doom. Trust me. I'm facetiously. I'm not facetiously. There's some bullcrap things happening from a constitutional standpoint and a rights thing.
100%.
From a selfish standpoint, I can't wait for this to completely destroy the housing market. I'm excited about that. I'm excited. It sucks for people that own homes because their value is about to drop.
Mm-hmm.
But
for that
me,
value will come back.
But it
Hopefully.
will come back. To your point,
it will come back.
But I'm loving that fact because guess what? The residual effects take a few months, and guess what? The people are not going to have the buying power they had before. So guess what? The sellers are going to have to actually adapt to that and drop the pricing of the homes if they want to move them.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's a positive. I don't know. Go ahead.
No, you're absolutely right. And the other side of it is, if their dollar is worth less,
yep.
You get less for your money. You get less for your money, or it costs more. You have to have more dollars to get that house you want.
Yeah.
So and then the homeowner's gonna be like, "Oh, I've made like $50,000 over what I paid for it. So much capital gains." Wrong. Because now that $50,000 buys you less out in the marketplace.
Yeah.
So, woohoo, you got $50,000 extra than what you paid on your house,
Yep.
but that $50,000 gets you, 2 loaves of bread now.
Yeah, exactly. It becomes the yen. So now
Yeah.
10,000 yen is a dollar. But a couple points here positive. We won't spin it all negative. I'm just pissed that I want church and I want my gym back. But Literary Scum brings up a good point. There's going to be massive deregulation in the medical field. Thank God. Thank God.
Why do you think that?
Because now you've got Trump literally telling people figure it out, and we're not worried about regulations.
Oh,
Screw
okay,
you.
yeah. In terms of like FDA stuff and
Figure it out. If there's a disease that you can figure out, you don't have to go through the bullcrap, the red tape. Then tax cut and job act it like Trump did before, and let medical people do what they've got to do to find solutions. I think another positive thing is the public schooling system has been exposed massively, especially in California. We talked about it last week, right? We talked about how California is really concerned and mad and sad that parents have more control of their kids. Gosh forbid, right? We talked about that last week. I think that the other thing too is I think that we're going to value things a lot more now when we get them back, right? I will value my gym even more so than I did before. I will value church and congregation and being with the body of Christ far more than I did before. I will value the absolute necessity for a home gym. Not gonna lie to you, I'm already doing the math and calculations because they will try to pull this crap again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I wish I could afford one.
I'm going to value traveling a lot more because, dude, I traveled a lot and we got locked down. You know what I mean? I was thinking, man, if this would have happened 4 years ago, which it wouldn't have, because at the end of the day, 4 years ago was Obama years. So you can't make Messiah look bad. Even though Zeke and swine flu were going on, but can't have that. I wouldn't have gotten to go to the Olympics. I wouldn't have gone to Europe as much as I did. There's just a lot of things that would have been stopped or halted because, the sniffles. So that's the reality of the situation. And what I also hope is that the thing that sucks is this, and this is the only time I'm probably going to rage on Orange Man. Okay, I'm going to have a little Orange Man rage if you're okay with it, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll with it.
Yeah, principles over personalities.
Yeah, I'm a principle guy, so it is what it is, man. Okay. This is my Orange Man bad moment. Okay, you have been known as a fighter. You have been known to buck the system. You have been known to kick people right in the balls and give it to them. Okay, which you're doing in your press conferences. Now, from a political standpoint, I completely understand bending the knee to these jabronis and giving them a little bit, taking it a little bit serious when you already knew from the beginning this was not a big deal. Because here's the thing, everybody keeps thinking, well, they said it wasn't a big deal at the beginning. And I'm like, yes, because it wasn't. It wasn't. It didn't become even remotely an issue until you skewed the death numbers in March and magically it exploded. But the other number that nobody wants to talk about is the infection rate. The infection rate is 4 to 5 times more than what they have recorded right now. I think the Stanford study proved that. I think in Los Angeles, it was like 4 times more people were infected. More of us have had this and it has gone, and we never even noticed it. Just like the flu, just like the pneumonia every single year. We should have treated this just like flu and pneumonia. But listen, Orange Man, I get it. You're in an election year. You didn't know you were going up against Sleepy Joe. There was the potential of like a Tulsi Gabbard or somebody that actually could give you a chance. So you had to bend the knee a little bit. And let's get real. You got to get ahead of this stuff now because a month before it was impeachment. I get it. From a political standpoint, I get it. From a principle standpoint, it's bullcrap and you know it. It's bullcrap. If you truly knew this was full of crap, which it was, take the slings and the arrow from the media that would tell you you're not doing enough in this and and do what Sweden did. Sweden's doing just fine. Do what Taiwan did. Taiwan's doing just fine. Dare I say, unfortunately, if Florida wouldn't have done anything, we would have been in the same position we are now. Because the more we know about this disease, UV light kills this thing. So we would have been fine either way.
The Sunshine State.
The Sunshine State. Weird. California and Florida doing just fine. Right?
Yeah. But I
killed.
mean, and we can also look at like places like Sweden that haven't done much of anything, and their numbers are consistent with ours, if not better.
I hate to give
And then
Scandinavia a pass, but that they did a good job. They just said, "Screw it, we're gonna not do anything."
I also
You know,
saw something online about Japan, and then I went and did some research. And New York City has 8.8 million people in it.
yep,
Tokyo has 9.3 million people, I believe.
yep.
In New York City, there have been 1,550 deaths, according to the Johns Hopkins coronavirus dashboard.
1,500.
Yes, 1,550 deaths. And according to Ginny, who is apparently in New York City, they're stacking bodies left and right.
Yep.
Um,
That didn't happen last year.
which yeah, exactly. I don't think that was accurate statements, but because I think that's not, I think that they deal with that amount every flu season.
all the time.
Anyway,
So Japan.
so Japan has 9 million. New York City has 8 million.
Yep.
1,500 deaths in New York City. All of Japan has 394 deaths
Wait. What?
as of this afternoon.
So all of Japan.
All of Japan has only 394 deaths, not just Tokyo. So Tokyo makes up a portion of that 394, whereas New York City alone is 1,550.
Japan has a population of 126 million people,
Hmm.
and they had 300 deaths. Is that what you're saying?
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, that's
And-
weird.
Yeah. Now, granted, they're on the other side of the globe from China, so. Oh
Wait a
wait,
minute.
no, that's not.
Wait,
we
no.
are.
They're a sea away from them.
Hmm. That's weird.
That's so weird.
That's weird. Huh. I don't know what to infer from that.
I don't know either.
Maybe lockdowns don't work.
Yeah,
Maybe the numbers are being lied about here in
100%.
the country.
yeah,
Maybe both.
sure.
Because I mean, because that correlates with what we saw in Sweden.
100%.
What we're seeing in Sweden is that
Yes.
lockdown or no lockdown. Granted, their climate is colder, but wait a second, it's heat that destroys the virus in a minute, and sunshine. So the Scandinavian countries would have a harder time with that.
Yeah, it's interesting. The problem is, here's the knife's edge. Do you believe every number that comes out?
Yeah.
I don't, but here's the problem. If you only have 300 some odd deaths, either somebody's lying in this case. And who is it? Is it New York? Because they've changed all the deaths to COVID? Or is it Japan? Which one do you think it is? What's the political gain for Japanese to only have 300 deaths versus New York to have 15,000 deaths? What's the political gain? Do they have election in Japan this year?
Right.
I mean, think about it. Just think about it. It's crazy how that works, right? But, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I mean, and you also have to look at the demographics.
Sure.
Because that's what we see in Italy.
Sure.
Italy was hit hard by this, but
It was.
Italy's population is very old.
Yep.
So most of their population is older, and
Yep.
older people are unfortunately the targets of this thing. I mean, we're not saying anything new. It's
Sure.
just
But so
why aren't we open?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We know all of this data now.
We know. Well,
Let's get back to work.
Well, the excuse the liberals are going to use is we just don't know anything about this disease. We do now. That's the problem, is we do know now. Now that we know, just like we know the flu and just like we know pneumonia, it's time to move on, kiddos. It is what it is. What are we doing? That's the question I'm asking. If you're going to deprive me of church and gym, what are we doing? If you're going to deprive Americans of employment and the opportunity to make money, what are we doing? If you're going to deprive people their opportunity to provide for their family and for their children that are sleeping next door, what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you do? What are we doing right now? So it is what it is, man. But that's the situation that we're in right now. I think in Hawaii they have like no cases too. By the way, I was checking that stat out too.
Hmm.
Like Idaho, where that chick got arrested, they had like no cases, and she got arrested because she wasn't social distancing.
Yeah.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was in Idaho.
Yeah, in Idaho. So you've got all these obscure, just absolute atrociously bad decisions being made that affect lives for what? Because clearly we just want people to die, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exhausting, but you know what? That's the liberal logic we're going to deal with. That's the liberal logic, and that's the reality. And unfortunately, we have a guy that's that still has to fight for his political life every single day, and Donald J. Trump, so he has to play these stupid games. And then we've got Desantis, who's the typical Republican, waiting for everybody to do what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got basic examples from other countries, Japan and Sweden, who did absolutely nothing, and they're fine. Because here's the thing, we would be fine too.
Mm-hmm.
We would label this the flu and pneumonia appropriately, like we did before,
Yep.
and we never paid attention to it whatsoever.
Yep.
It's just what it is.
That's here's another interesting fact. Tokyo, as of 2014, population density was 4,400 people per square kilometer.
Okay.
Whereas New York City was only 1,800 people per square kilometer.
So they're twice as dense.
Twice as dense. Over twice as dense.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't even compare. Like, the thing I saw on Twitter said that it was the most densely populated city in the world. Not even close.
Yeah.
London is more densely populated, Sao Paulo, but then you get into India and it's like 40. Their most densely populated city is Dhaka. It's 44,000 people per square kilometer. That's crazy. Mumbai is 32,300. And that was in 2014. Yeah. So it's been 6 years.
Yep. And most of New York has moved to Brooklyn anyway, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
So they're not nearly as dense.
Now, when you add the boroughs, the population jumps up to like 18 million people.
Yeah.
But then also the deaths, jump up to like 8,000 people.
Sure.
So what is special about New York? Are they all smokers there?
No, well, they're just labeling it different.
Exactly.
I mean, it's probably the normal amount of people that die. They just are labeling it different. You know what I mean? That is what it is.
Yeah. Ghost says, can we just take a moment to appreciate Elon Musk for his recent red pill moments?
Oh, yeah.
For sure. But you know what? I've always kind of gotten the feeling that he was, mostly there. There's still going to be something that he's, because like he still gets big tax subsidies for Tesla and all that stuff,
Of course.
Yeah, if it's there, I got a tax subsidy a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Called a stimulus check, and I used it to buy a handgun. So
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't trust a transhumanist. I don't Bobby the Bull. He shot a car in space. Yeah, okay. But it's just interesting, man. But long story short is this, man. I'm getting over it. I'm sick and tired of it, man. That's why I've like literally turned off. We're having difficulty recruiting Elon. Any suggestions?
Stop.
Pay him more to launch cars in space.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, man.
So, yeah, transhumanist. I never took him to be a transhumanist. I always took him to be one who was thinking that we need to get away from that. Because like his whole, the whole AI thing, he's not, that's one of the reasons why he says we need to go to Mars, is because AI is going to come and it's going to, murder us all.
But here's the problem: the creators of Facebook, the creators of the iPad, they all know that Facebook and iPad are horrible, but they won't let their children use it.
Sure.
But they're definitely willing for you to do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You may know what is bad, but you may even use it to.
He's got a project creating an AI, but it's at least an open source. project. So there's that.
100%.
And,
100%. 100%. But yeah, man. No, it is what it is, man. But that's the situation that we're in, man. But here's the dealio, man. It's been a phenomenal show, man, as usual, dude. You feel me? Ruger.
yes. Well, let's open the floor to questions. I know that
Oh yeah,
Ace the boss had a question
yeah, yeah.
earlier on. Is he still in?
I don't know, man. Hey, listen, if you got questions, if you're on TikTok, you get over to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. That's twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. We're gonna open up the forum. We're gonna take some questions, and it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. So I'm jacked up. Let's go, baby. Oh, you silly gun owner! I bet you have.
A magazine. You simply haven't tried airsoft, the safe alternative. Don't you want to keep safe? Yes, from the deep state. I would like to stay safe from the deep state.
Yeah. Yes. 1000%. Deep state, I want nothing to do with you.
Okay, Ace Boss, what was that question again?
Ace Boss, hit us with us, bro. In the meantime, I just let you know I bought the old version of Final Fantasy VII just because I beat the original one. I beat the original. Well, I beat the remake.
Mm-hmm.
It took me 48 hours. It took me a week, but I got it done. And I bought the original game, which is hilarious. But yeah,
did they have a digital version for the PS4?
And you can 3 times speed the game so that you're moving around faster. So basically, like the reactor in Final Fantasy VII Remake, it's like at least 2 hours worth of fighting and all that stuff like that. I played the old game. The first reactor you can literally get done in 3 minutes. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So like that 2 hour long process is done in like 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun.
They expanded it so well. Because it doesn't feel like forced or like just like unnecessarily long.
Oh, that's a good question. We got some good questions on this one, man.
So
Ace Boss, man.
Why, Ace Boss? Why do liberals and Democrats want to get pedophiles or get pedophile supporters in office or leadership?
Well, time out. Did it block the word on your page?
No, it didn't.
It literally. Oh, I got a screenshot.
I might have those controls turned off, like because it'll censor curse words, but I guess a pedophile is a curse word.
What, calling evil is a curse word? Yeah. Sorry, keep going. Forgot. Go ahead, man.
No, you go ahead.
Why do liberals and Democrats want to get pedophiles or get pedophile supporters in office of leadership? One, there's a very, very big reason for that. There's some sick people out there on the planet, and we all know where that boils down to. It boils down to evil. One of the cursors of Luciferian action, one of the cursors of Satanism. One of the ways that they can absolutely keep you in line is by acting in these absolutely sick and deplorable ways. So you got to think about it like everybody that's out there that's like, well, how do they keep secrets and how do people not go to the blah, 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 blah? Because they get them in these rings. They get them in these situations.
Yeah, they compromise them.
Total control of them forever. I think the best example of this would have been B Hollywood. A lot of the Hollywood secrets don't really spill out as much as you think that they do. I think Terry Crews was the closest to kind of like opening it up, that situation. By talking about the Hollywood parties and so on and so forth. They all engage in this evil. And once you're in that club, it's very easy to control you at that point because now they can get you on kiddie porn. Now they can get you on all this evil stuff because you've engaged in this absolute deplorable behavior. Because normal America does not stand for this whatsoever. They may be cool with it in New York, DC, San Francisco, LA, but like normal America, the House of Mouse here in Orlando, we would never stand for that disgusting behavior whatsoever. But it's a very easy way to control and have control over people. This is why they hate Donald Trump. You can't control Donald Trump with money. He has it. You can't control Donald Trump with sex, lies, and whatever because he's a scumbag and he has sex with whatever woman he wants to. He did it, while his wife was pregnant with Stormy Daniels. Okay, you can try to throw mud at him.
I saw an article saying where she's come out and said that it was all made up recently. I don't know. I don't. I don't remember the source, so don't quote me on that. But I did see something recently where she's come out and said that. But that might have been just clickbait.
Another person made up a story about Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Never. That's so weird. So when you got Donald Trump, who's not caught up in any of this bullcrap, the same Donald Trump that kicked out Jeffrey Epstein of Mar-a-Lago for hitting on a 14-year-old girl at his place, way before he was even running for any elected office,
Yeah.
which just shows his character. Even though I would say it's thin character, at least normal American character. Um, that's why the deep state's pissed, because you can't control him at that point. This is why there's so much resistance against him. When you've got other
And,
presidents name
well,
engaging
you got Bill Gates hanging out with him post
his conviction.
Post his conviction, Same
Conviction.
with the Clintons and all that jazz.
I mean, it's very. Of course, they're going to protect the Clintons when you've got Bill Clinton flying to Pedophile Island and wearing a dress to get a picture taken in. Of course, you're going to have control over good old George W. when he's got little male buddy escorts coming to the office. Look that up for yourself. Don't believe me. Okay, like at the end of the day, like there are so many stories about these guys in power that they put them in horrible situations, and it's a control method. So,
Mary Jo Kopechne.
Go ahead.
Mary Jo Kopechne.
Who's that?
Chappaquiddick.
Chappaquiddick. Yeah. Right. I mean, the whole point of politics is not the game is not actual power. The game is not actual getting into a position of power. The game is, do you have some leverage over the people that are in those positions? Because our politicians don't really have power. It's the people that have them by the balls that have the power over them. And that is exactly why they hate Donald Trump so much, is they don't have anything on him. Mm-hmm. Because you can't buy him. He already has enough money. He doesn't care. You can't get him a little kid porn bullcrap because he thinks it's abhorrent. You can't get him on scandals because he's Captain Dirt. Okay, he's okay.
He's the scandal king, and that's how he made his name.
He made his money doing scandalous stuff. So this is why the deep state hates him so much, and this is why liberals and Democrats grow quiet when they put scumbags in office like this. Because here's the funny thing. Remember, the Democrats spent nearly half of a year trying to convince you that Brett Kavanaugh was in, multiple orgy rape grooming gangs, okay, which was completely false and completely ludicrous. And they ripped him and raked him through the coals. Now Joe Biden's dealing with legitimate accusations of him sexually assaulting a woman, and everybody gets quiet. Because they're going to protect Smoking Joe, because he's part of the game. They're going to protect him all day long. But if you are not in the fold, they'll try to do the opposite. And it's a control game. But that's my opinion when it comes to pedophiles and all that fun stuff like that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Did I answer that correctly, articulately?
I think so. Okay, Liberty Scum says, why don't you guys have a double date episode where you bring the wives into the conversation?
My wife.
I can honestly say that our wives couldn't be less enthused by that idea.
Yes.
They have zero interest.
And I'm going to tell you why. I think anybody that does a podcast, I think it's rare when you have the husband-wife combo on the podcast. Mm-hmm. Just being real, because now you're taking, like, this conversation for me. I've had these conversations with my wife a million times over. You know what I mean? Like, to the point where, and I can honestly say this, I was so happy with my wife. Like, last week, my wife finally broke down and she was like, "Hey, Ray, you were right about the whole COVID thing." And I was like, I didn't know how to handle it, Matt. I was like, what, wait, what just happened? Did that really just happen, man?
Hopefully you took it graciously and didn't.
At first, I didn't know how to handle it. I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, wait a minute. What did you just say? Did you just tell me that I was right? And of course I'm right more often than not. I'm just, that's probably my hubris and my arrogance. But the reality of the situation is, my wife, at the end of the day, this is not her priority, right? And the other thing too, my wife's polar opposite personality when it comes to this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, she loves huge social gatherings. I'm not a huge social gathering person, but I do atmosphere. But you know me in public places. Let's get real. How often do I get real with people with stuff? I don't. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because most people can't handle it. Most people get triggered. I mean, you look at my feed of any of the stuff on the Strongman page. I got 33,000 followers now. How much do you think is positive versus hate ratio that I get on TikTok? What would you guess?
I don't know, man. Because I see a lot of conservative people on there.
Oh, yeah.
Posting stuff, but...
Yeah.
But I'm
But how
sure. But I mean, the haters love to hate, so let's go with hate.
there's so much heat. Now, I laugh at that. I actually love it. I love the hate. I
Mm-hmm.
love it when people try their best to troll me. Because if you're spending your time on my page every single day trolling me, you're not a hater, you're a fan. Like, let's get real with ourselves, okay? If you're going to spend that much time every day going on my post and trying to piss me off or try to get under my skin, and then it always ends horribly for people. Um, you're a fan, and that's okay. But that also lets me know that I'm getting under your skin to the point where you are literally posting all my stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like literally, I know this. So
Yeah, but it bugs me. I hate it because nothing I do is going to convince this person. I hate that.
why? You're never going to convince everybody.
Yeah, well,
You will never convince everybody.
duh, I know that. Doesn't mean I have to like it. I hate it. I hate that I won't convince everybody. I understand that I won't convince everybody, but it kind of feels like you're not going to convince anybody sometimes, and
Well,
all you are doing is preaching to the choir, which
well, I take
which
you
I
know what
enjoy doing, but
but here's the thing that I would say is this is the thing that I don't think a lot of people see. We're not talking to the people that normally would agree with us.
mm,
Like, don't get me wrong, I love the followers, I love the people that follow us on this page and
oh, for
watch our
sure.
show every week. But the reality of the situation is this: we're not here to convince them. Okay, we're confirming a lot of the thoughts that they have. I think from a positive standpoint, people that think like us literally are like, oh, wait a minute, there are other rational, normal human beings out there that are thinking the same thing. But that's only about probably 10% of our audience. I would say 80% of our audience are the people that are like either agnostic or have never thought through these things before and actually hearing people articulate. So when they see the other 10%, which are the trolls, the people that are really like angry and mad because God forbid you love God, God forbid you like freedom, God forbid you don't hate Donald Trump,
Mm,
God forbid, you're witty and intelligent and not obsessed with race, for example, on TikTok,
that's the one that really gets me.
the exchange of ideas at that point is not to try to convince,
Sure.
Orange Man, Orange Man Bad Tommy. The reality is to show that Orange Man Bad Tommy has Trump derangement syndrome and suffers from liberal logic and expose him. And that is literally showing love by exposing the falsehood. And
Yeah,
it's
true.
fun too. And the other thing too is a lot of trolls think they're good at it until they run into me, and I'm far better at them than they are. So it is what it is. But go ahead.
Dusty has two questions. How soon do you think till Disney reopens?
June 1st.
Do you think so?
Yep. The plan that they sent to the because my father-in-law he
Uh,
drives a bus for Disney. The plan that they're talking about is the end of May. So now Disney's kind of basically gone past what the normal stages would have been, and to open everything back up in June because Disney can't stay closed forever.
no, for sure.
They've done a good job of getting new like Disney Plus and selling their Disney products and so on and so forth. But they have to get the revenue from the parks. That is a
Yeah,
massive chunk of change.
for sure.
They're not gonna play nice forever with this. They're eventually gonna be like, okay, the House of Mouse is open up again. So it is.
Also, he says, "Did you see AMC will no longer be showing Universal movies? Universal, uh, you know, produced movies due to he says due to Universal releasing Trolls for stream, but it wasn't exactly that. It was because Trolls they released Trolls World Tour."
Yep.
20 bucks on demand instead of
Yeah.
going to the theaters because there were no theaters open.
Yes.
But the president of Universal came out and said, "We did awesome numbers doing that. So from now on, we're simultaneously releasing in theaters and on demand
Yes.
for most of our movies."
Yes.
Then AMC was like, "Well, you won't be playing your movies in our theaters."
Okay. Bye, Karen. Talk about zero awareness.
Yeah,
That is such a zero awareness thought process.
yeah.
So
It's
you want
ballsy, but then
okay,
it's also like it also shows some kind of like separation from reality because the
yes.
reality is the theater business hasn't been doing so hot for quite some time now.
It's dying.
Yeah, which is a shame because I love going to the theater,
I do too.
but
But
it's freaking expensive.
how often do you go to the theater annually now?
Not that often with kids, but I would go all the time if I could.
Dude, I didn't see a movie for 3 years.
Yeah.
Didn't go to the movie for 3 years.
Hmm.
You know, until Charity's family moved down. Once they moved down, then we had like a place where our daughters could like go hang out,
Yeah.
go to a movie. And then when we did, we went like once a quarter. So that's like 4 times a year.
Hmm.
And listen, at the height
Yeah,
of
and
the
now
movie,
that your kids are old enough to come with you, it's going to be that much more expensive.
yeah, it's not worth it to me.
Yeah, definitely.
We go out for Christmas and Thanksgiving for the movies, and that's about it.
Really?
Like we did a whole Trolls party. We rented the Trolls thing for $20. Got it for 48 hours. Got to watch it twice. Girls loved it,
Mhm.
and it cost us a quarter of the amount it normally would cost us going to the movie theater. So if I'm Universal, wait a minute, I don't have to pay these stupid theaters to run my stuff, and people just live stream it. Bye. Cut out the middleman, dude. Bye.
Did you have any problems with the movie?
No.
I had a couple. I had
The
two.
only,
I had two
you
problems.
mean the messaging of the movie?
Yeah, the whole messaging.
Oh, of course. They had to throw the social justice, and the implication was that all black people are victims, by the black character, the predominantly black character. Yes, I noticed that theme in the movie, and I was very like, oh my gosh, roll my eyes, for real.
Yeah,
This is a mystical, magical world
yeah.
that does not exist in reality, and even this narrative doesn't exist in reality in 2020. But yeah, that's another story for another time. But yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was the pop trolls that it was, of course, the pop trolls, the
Pop trolls, the implied white trolls
Mhm.
that were oppressing the implied black trolls.
Yeah,
A fictitious, made up land.
yeah. I wasn't even talking about that. For me, the two problems were that they didn't call they weren't called metal trolls because they're clearly metal. Okay.
Yeah.
And B, Barb was right. Metal is the better musical style, so
You're so full
so
of crap.
she should have taken all the strings and she should have been able to play that chord, and all the world's music should have been metal. That's just. But what you said was good too.
Listen, I literally thought you were gonna have a social commentary on this. I literally was like, oh,
No, it's good that you actually did, but.
Oh, dude, I was sitting there like, that's when I stopped watching it. I was like, oh, geez, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one, the movie was obvious. You knew that the yodeler was the guy that helped him spring out of the jail.
Yeah, he was.
And on top of that, it went into, oh yeah, the implied black troll. Yeah, he's been oppressed his whole life, even though he's absolute joy with the pop, whatever. Give me a break, dude. And then of course, back in the history of the trolls, the pop troll was the oppressive one. And even though time has passed and everything is awesome and they're happy trolls now, you still got to deal with that white guilt. Like, give me a break, dude. I was so over that. I was like, give me a break.
For sure.
But anyways, I digress.
Deep State asks, assigned seating in the theaters is obnoxious. Can we agree on that? I was like,
yes.
No, I don't.
Yes.
I don't agree.
I concede. Yes.
No, if you got electric reclining leather seats, then I want that assigned seating so I can get the perfect seat, dead center of the screen, dead center of the room, equidistant from all speakers. Yeah,
that's not equality, man. I don't care. I want equal outcome.
No,
I want equal outcome. I don't want equal opportunity.
I want equal opportunity. I had the same opportunity as everybody else to get that seat, and I got it.
You oppressive white person, you. Yep. You so oppressive.
Yep. Yes,
I am. Hey, we're on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness. Head over to twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness to get the full show. If you're not on there right now, you're missing out on the full show. So I kind of don't feel bad for you. So
also to all the people in the Twitch chat, why don't you have why aren't you part of the Discord chat so we can keep this conversation going all week long?
How about your boy Deep State Comic Pizza in DC is now doing delivery? You're so
that's
so
bad.
That's bad and funny at the same time.
For sure.
I laughed. It was worth it. But I want to arrive 2 minutes before the movie and have the best seat in the theater. That is a true statement. I think Dusty has got it right on that one. I think Dusty's right on that,
Yeah,
man.
and then you know how you do that? You know how you do that? By purchasing the seat in advance and it being your seat that you paid for.
All right. Last question. What do we got, man? What do we got? Besides AMC's
Uh,
complete lack of awareness. That is the dumbest move of all time. It
what,
makes no sense.
what's this?
Teeks 3D, who's that? What's up, brother?
What's up?
Is he shaking hands? What is it? What is it? What is he doing? I don't understand. I'm just a dude.
It looks like it's ET saying hi.
Oh, ET, phone home.
So he's
What's up, bro?
saying hello. Hello, Teeks.
What's up, Teeks? How you doing, bro? But yeah, man, I think, dude, is Cajun still on? I think Cajun deserves a question for giving us some love
Yeah,
on
man.
the show, going live right now.
Yeah, and any of you that haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do so. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch account,
Yep.
and it gives you a free sub, which you can throw our way if you feel inclined. Not,
Throw us a sub,
that's
man.
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Give us a subscribe. All right. Here's my question. I'm going to give you a question. What do you think of Final Fantasy remake? What is your
Oh, it's
deal?
great. It's great. I'm really enjoying it.
Where are you at in the game? It doesn't
I
matter.
just
Spoiler.
went scouring Sector 5 with for every possible quest with Aerith.
Ah, yes. You're getting closer, bro.
And
You're getting
so
closer.
we're about to go back to her house and probably meet up with the other Turk.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm excited.
What's his
That's a
name?
good battle.
I can't. It's Reno and
Rude, man. That's my
Rude.
favorite
That's
Turk. Is Rude. Shocker. The bald-headed African American man.
right.
Rude's my dude, man. Oh man. Ray, what's your TikTok channel name? It is Strong One. It is the Strong One. So it's spelled ST, and then wrong. So yeah, exactly. That's what it's spelled. But I also have Strong One, where the one spelled out ONE. So it's all fun, man.
Like your backup channel, just in case you get cut off.
Oh yeah, well no, that's my ghost channel. It blocked because it's funny. I think I keep exposing TikTok when they block me.
Mm-hmm.
Like they blocked me one time, and I was like, "Can you please show me in the guidelines where this message?" And I screenshotted the message, like the breakdown of the message, like what in this statement violated your guidelines. I'm curious. And magically it went back up. The other one that was funny is they tried to block me for posting the jihadist manifesto from I don't know if you remember in Philadelphia, the mosque in Philadelphia that had the little kids going up there saying like we want to kill all Jews basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I filmed them and then ripped them for doing that, and I got in trouble. I was like, wait a minute. So
I remember that.
I was like, you support, the killing of Jews? You're okay with this? So you're like you're like them? And they promptly put everything back up. Even the Chinese overlords are smart enough to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Teek says it's the emoji's actually Mr. E.T.
Mr. E.T. I like it. I like it. I'm down with it. I pity the fool.
Pity to the fool who doesn't go home.
Yeah. So let's see. Bobby the Bull. He preferred 4, 6, 9, and 12. Okay, not bad. I will give you 4 and 6 for sure.
9,
Actually, Bobby,
definitely.
Bobby, I agree with all of your assessments on that one.
Which one's
However,
12? Is 12 lightning?
No, 12 is the is as what was his name? Vaughn? I think it was Vaughn. It was Vaughn, and it was but he was like the crappiest main guy. Who stole the show was I think his name was Balthier. He was the space pirate, or not the space pirate, but the air pirate, and he had the hot bunny chick as as his like cohort.
I know nothing about that. I know nothing of that.
It's basically that game kind of set the tone for like the rest of the games because the worlds weren't like just you're randomly running in this open space and then you go into a battle. You're literally running. There's monsters out there, and you can run directly towards certain monsters.
Mm-hmm.
You can hunt monsters. You can do like different side quests, which is a lot of fun, man. So it's all good.
Word.
Oh man, Dusty made it on my TikTok. Dusty's on my TikTok.
Word.
Oh man, Dusty, just look through my TikTok videos. You'll like him. It's a lot of fun. But the
Dusty,
real Sergeant House. What's up? Huh?
I said, Dusty, get on Discord. Let's go. Click on that link.
Some of us are old school, bro. I'm trying. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But
Well, you're already there at least, you know.
I will rank Final Fantasy VII as the best Final Fantasy. Period.
Boom.
I think 9 is number 2 for sure.
Correct.
I think 9 is absolutely phenomenal. One of my favorite gameplays. The one that everybody hates that I loved was Final Fantasy X. I loved Final Fantasy X, and everybody hated it. I don't know why.
I don't really care for it.
Bro, Blitzball, awesome. I don't care that Titus was, kind of a douche. It is what it is. But Aaron is just the example of how a bad A should be, whatever.
He's the guy with the one arm out.
Yes, he's got one arm pinned in.
Yeah, he was. All the side characters were great, but Titus was so boring, and the story was just so like.
But that's how 12 was. 12's main character was complete waste of life, but the side characters were amazing. You know what I mean? But like Final Fantasy VII has the most complete roster of any setup I've ever seen before. It was unbelievable, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, the remake was phenomenal. It's absolutely worth every single dollar that they're going to extract from me. They're probably going to get about $300 to $400 out of me from this game, because I think they're going to do little side modules to make for the game. And what they're talking about with the release for this game is they're doing shorter versions where, like, this game was 50 hours long. The next installment will be like 20 hours.
What?
The next installment will be like 20 hours. And I think they're going to do 4 installments of this game.
Seriously?
Yes.
And they're going to be $60 each time?
Probably.
That better not be true.
But you know what?
That better freaking not be. No, I won't pay it.
Listen, when you get to the end of this game, do you know what the ending of the game is already?
I mean, I know it ends where Midgar ends, right?
Yes, but you don't. Okay, I won't spoil the end for you. But here's the thing: the end is like taking a hit of meth. The moment you hit it, you will be addicted. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you will immediately think, "Why, dear God, did you stop the game right here? You evil people."
If the next game is only 20 hours and I gotta pay $60, I'm not buying it.
You're gonna do it, bro.
No, I'm not.
The moment.
No, I promise you. I've done it before. I really enjoyed Destiny. I really enjoyed it. I was having a lot of fun, and the price was too high, and I was like, nope, I'm not paying this. And I haven't played Destiny since, until it went free to play, and then I only played a little bit.
Listen. I want to have this conversation.
I won't buy it.
I want to have this conversation again once you've played the.
I won't pay. Let me put it this way. I definitely won't pay $60 for it. If it's another 40, 50 hours, I will.
Listen, bro.
I will. But if it's only 20 hours, I'm not paying full price for it.
Listen, do you care about the planet? Do you not care about the planet?
I'm a conservative, so no, I
don't. That's the only thing. Playing it again, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. Mako is oil, and we're eco-terrorists.
Eco-terrorists. It's like, okay.
But and I love how Cloud is in Sector 5 working with these orphans.
Yes.
And they're talking about the destruction and how other, there might be more kids coming to the Leaf House.
Yeah.
And he's got nothing to say about the fact, there's nothing, there's no like look that goes across his face like, I'm the reason why this is happening, Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I'm the reason that probably a lot of people died.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably the reason because I wanted to save oil, essentially.
Now, granted, like if there was proof that oil was the lifeblood of the planet, us extracting it was literally killing the planet, like we were draining its blood.
Sure.
I'd be like, okay, yeah, you're right. That's not the argument.
No, not even close. Not even close. But that aside from the
even
subtle,
then, eco-terrorism is not the answer.
Yeah. Aside from the subtle lefty globalist mindset, it's a phenomenal game. Mm-hmm. I love what they did in the remake. I love the depth that they went into the remake. Sure. I love the fact that I was praying to God that Cloud would get with Jesse like every second of the way, because I was like, wait a minute. I don't remember Jesse being this awesome. Oh yes, Bobby the Bull just said it. Yeah, like literally, the whole time I'm like, yeah, I kind of want Cloud with Jesse. I'm not gonna lie to you. just you get the backstory with her, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Now,
no,
don't get
no
me wrong,
doubt, but
like
I'm still a fan of Tifa.
oh, Tifa's number one. Tifa's number one. I told my wife, I was like, listen, you do realize I love this game because I'm basically Barrett, but the complete opposite political stance, but the same intensity for life. And you are the smoking hot badass named Tifa, and you look like her. So I mean, that's just is what it is. But that's why I married you. You know what I mean? So, but
Bobby says, Aerith, on the other hand, best left unsaid. I'll say it. I'm glad she died.
well, that's yeah, yeah.
While
And
everybody else was crying, I was going, oh, thank God. No
I just
longer
want,
have to put her in my party. She
that's
sucks.
true. I that was my only problem with the original game was why am I putting her in this game for her to die?
hmm
And she
I
died.
well, see
On,
that they were trying to make her a lovable character, which I guess was successful for a lot of people, but not for me.
nah, man, I'm
But
good.
I actually I think she's a little bit more enjoyable in the remake. Um, like I couldn't care less about her. As soon as I was able to take her out of the party, I did
Sure,
because I didn't care about her story. I was about Tifa and
sure.
Barrett and what was going on there. And then they started forcing me to put her in my party, and I was like, I don't want her in my party. I don't care about her, and now I don't like her.
And now I hate you.
Yeah, but she's more quirky now. You know,
Yeah,
she's got more time to like
develop.
to develop, I don't hate her,
Yes.
but I still, there's better uses for my party. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Although the arcane ward is super awesome.
have you gotten the electricity around her that she
I just got that staff. I haven't finished the
oh,
proficiency in the guard staff. So as soon as I do that, I need to put down a few more arcane wards, and then I'll unleash the tempest.
yeah. Oh, I got a shout out on TikTok. Great Scott wants me to say hi to Jeffrey Epstein. Hi, Jeffrey Epstein.
Hey,
But yeah,
didn't kill
so
yourself.
and you killed yourself. You didn't kill yourself. Dusty, the problem is this, Dusty, you should have played Final Fantasy. Now the good news, Dusty, is if you have a PlayStation, you can go in there right now and for I think it's $6, download the original game and play it, and it will change your life. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Be prepared for terrible graphics,
Oh yeah,
but PlayStation One graphics. I mean, this was a 4-discer on PlayStation One.
sure,
I still have my discs even though I can't play them.
dude.
But like I just can't get rid of them.
Listen, Dusty, from one dad to another, I didn't get a console game until like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you gotta get it, man.
Which answers Ace Boss's question: is Final Fantasy VII Remake worth $500?
Yes, 1,000%. I would never. I would not.
Xbox. God.
No, Xbox.
Ugh.
What? I have
Uh,
somebody who desperately wants me to say, "I love you, Daniel," in a funny accent. Oh, so I just did it. You good now? You good? We good? All right, man. Well, here's the deal. I'm excited, man, and I'm ready to go, and I'm
mhm.
jacked up. And I had a good show with you today, and I appreciate you for hanging in there with me and letting me rage a little bit at the beginning. Thank you for getting that was very therapeutic for me to get off my chest and literally get pissed off at Ron DeSantis for a little bit and air my beef out. You know what I mean? And call out the bullcrap. And it is what it is. But now I'm going to pass out because I have work in the morning, and I might wake up a little early and play some Final Fantasy VII before my girls wake up. And then it's going to be on like Donkey Kong, man. So I got to get back to online working because it's so much fun.
Right on.
Ace Boss, we'll be back next Wednesday, 8:30, 9-ish, around the same time, same bat place. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere that you can follow us. On the Strong One, I think I got 33,000 on Strong One over there on TikTok. Make sure you follow over there. Make sure you follow the Plausible Foolishness page on TikTok as well. We have tons of fun over that place as well. So make sure that you follow us there.
Join the Discord.
Join the Discord. Make sure you're on the Discord.
Come see the memes and the
See the
conversation.
See the memeage, man. But yeah, man, I'm so excited that we're the fastest growing political commentary here on twitch.tv/possible foolishness, on twitch.tv/possible foolishness. And I'm excited to continue to grow this group. Thank you for everybody that's supporting us. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon. Thank you, Dusty. And thank you for everybody that keeps the lights going and the energy flowing so that we don't ever podcast fade, because we're not doing that, because we're too strong. We're too strong for that, which is a lot of fun, man. But I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys have a good night. And Mad Scientist, Mad Matt, what are your closing thoughts, man? What do you got, man?
Well, first off, Dusty says that it just shows an error page when you click on the link to the Discord. Then you need to use a different browser, because it works where I'm at. If you're using Internet Explorer, you should have stopped decades ago.
Sure.
Anyway, but here's my actual last thought, and this is 1 John 4:16 through 18.
Yes.
And so we know and rely on the love God has for us. God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God and God in them. This is how love is made complete among us, so that we will have confidence on the day of judgment. In this world we are like Jesus. There is no fear in love. But perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. We love because he first loved us. Whoever claims to love God yet hates a brother or sister is a liar. For whoever does not love their brother and sister whom they have seen cannot love God whom they have not seen. And he has given us this command: anyone who loves God must also love their brother and sister. Perfect love, the antidote to fear.
Amen. Testify. Thank you guys so much for everything. We appreciate you. We hope you have a great night. Mad Scientist, Mad Matt, thank you for letting me hang out. You're the man. You're awesome.
Hopefully I'll see you again sometime.
Hey, listen, I was hoping to come over tonight, but,
Yeah.
DeSantis to be a complete dipstick, so it is what it is.
Indeed it is.
All
right,
brother.
guys.
See you
Have
later.
a good night.
Bye. Boom.